Just to see my screen, right?
Hi everyone, my name is Danish,
My name is Aaron.
My name's Ladane.
and our social enterprise is called Quarters of Change, focusing on affordable housing and property management. So, what is the social problem that's being addressed here? There is a high rate of housing shortages in Canada, which is caused by implementing new infrastructure to replace older neighborhoods and home properties. This issue of housing is negatively affecting vulnerable populations who cannot afford newer built houses due to being displaced by government regulations. However, in the city of Toronto, there is a substantial rise in new expensive properties like condos being built that is giving way too much inflation, high housing costs, and the exploitations of labor.
Okay, so what are the solutions to fix the problem? One of the solutions that we have encountered and that is really useful in fixing this problem is to offer specific funding supports like grants, which can help homeowners that are affected by systemic displacement to help them relocate in different houses.
So, primary beneficiaries. We focus on marginalized and racialized homeowners and residents within the GTA who are currently excluded from the status quo and facing displacement due to transit-oriented developments. So, as we were looking at it, our key persona was Marcus. A key segment is youth ages 18 to 24, aging out of the foster care system, who require compatibility empowerment and paid construction training to secure long term independence. Our market includes private developers and municipal authorities in the GTA who must meet these semi not hard criteria and social procurement requirements for large scale infrastructure projects. The target market encompasses thousands of residents in the GTA currently living in precarious housing or at high risk of demoviction as the housing sector undergoes massive redevelopment.
So the value proposition of our social enterprise consists of three main parts, which are the human resources, the financial resources, and the physical resources. To start off, our human resources model of our value proposition and enterprise consists of ensuring that our target market that we talked about previously and the population receive adequate housing affordability support through different initiatives such as decoupling the land from the housing market. As for our financial resources, the financial value that is offered through our services and programs are towards different aspects, like educating the younger demographic about the importance of trading in the housing sector through specific workshops and training. And finally, the physical use of spaces like offices and different uh, desktop spaces, along with the addition of a functioning staff supported by a wide array of tools in the housing sector, consist of our physical resources, which help us and our social enterprise to operate effectively.
All right, so now we will talk about what our revenue model is. And this consists of sources of funding. So, our revenue streams as an organization, Quarter of Change is tend to reduce its reliance on grants by using a mix of earned income strategies that connect its social mission with market-based revenue. Now, Quarter of Change earns a steady income by charging property management fees to nonprofits. Another ongoing revenue source is ground lease fees. Quarter of Change also earns money from developers who need help meeting municipal social value requirements on larger projects, gaining leverage in the sector.
So, marketing plan. So, our strategy is to focus on informing the world of the importance of solutions that we're creating rather than just advertising a service. So, educational outreach, we utilize educational content in forms of long form videos, short form videos, blog posts made with the community and by the community um, to help to explain the systemic roots of housing instability. We prioritize continuous communication to build a common agenda among stakeholders and a core condition for achieving collective impact. We use platforms like YouTube, local community hubs to share our theory of change, allowing supporters to visualize the steps for vacancy to thriving homes.
Okay, so the theory of change plan of our social enterprise includes of two main parts, which are our immediate outcomes and our key activities. So for immediate outcomes, our outcomes are to use older land into making newer properties for our population. And this is the reason that because they are systemically affected by many unaffordable housing issues, such as being thrown out of their homes, being displaced out of their properties for not being able to financially pay rent and many other reasons. And the goal of refurbishing and renovating home properties while providing the necessary training to the workers so they can also find adequate employment through this initiative. Finally, some of the key activities that our social enterprise runs are workshops that are catered to help understand housing instability and property management issues.
So now we will talk about how we measure our theory, so the key metrics. So the first metric we have is housing creation. The way we measure this is that we track using project records and city occupancy permits. The process, it keeps a running log of properties bought and renovations finished to confirm we hit the goal of renovating around 75 to 100 different housing properties. The second metric we have is residential stability. So how we measure this is that we track tenants over time using our internal software. The process is we check in with tenants at 6 and 12 months in around 6 and 12 months to confirm that 85% are people are still housed. Our third metric that we're focusing on is capacity building. So we measure this by using training enrollment logs and employment verification surveys. The process is we follow participants through their paid construction training to see if they found a job or continue training within 6 months of finishing. And our last metric that we're focusing on here is community trust. So we measure this by using surveys to gauge how people feel before and after. The process for this is give participants a short survey at the start and end of the 8-week workshop to measure changes in community connection and reduce stigma.
So, Corridors of Change is a nonprofit based social enterprise. We operate specifically as a mission based model, meaning our businesses, activities directly achieve our social goals. So, we are a social enterprise that functions within and as operated by a nonprofit model organization. Unlike profit led businesses, any surplus revenue generated is used to further the nonprofit's cause, reinvesting in land acquisitions and youth training, such as the construction program. Sustainability. This model addresses diminished government funding by generating earned income through property management and consultancy. So it allows us to address the dire need for better infrastructure without the pressure of maximizing private profits. So this is ensuring our activities and social missions are inseparable, providing a safe space to live without having housing issues.
And that will do it for our pitch for Quarter of Change. Thank you for everyone for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.